WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany, often tasting rare and exotic whiskey, single cask bottling from the Ultimate, which is a Dutch independent bottler. This is Whiskybase number 169447. I bought this bottle in an auction. I'll get to that in a second. Now, first things first, this usually doesn't happen very often over here in Germany, but it's happened more than enough times in America. The glue has separated itself from the cork and from the wood piece here. You can still see a little bit of the ring of the glue there, but I bought an auction, unwrapped it, and then tried to pull off the cork, and I only got the wood part. All right, so this was distilled on the 4th of March 2011, and it was bottled on the 14th of January 2020. So that means this bottle is 8 years of age. Cask number 159, 327 bottles. Even my bottle label says here that I have bottle number 242, 46% non-chilled filtered, natural color, and this is matured in a bourbon barrel for 8 years. All right, very, very nice. Now, the online price was 46 euros. It's sold out. And so I bought this on an auction site called WhiskyAuctionBerlin.com. Is it .com or is it .de? It's .de. Okay, WhiskyAuctionBerlin.de. And I paid 40 euros for it. Now, what my bid that won was 40 euros. What I paid for it was 55 euros and 70 cents. Because first of all, I have to pay 14.8% fee, the buyer's fee. Now, some websites have a 10% seller fee and a 10% buyer's fee. WhiskyAuction.com, I think they do it that way. I think it's like €1 to put a bottle in the auction, and the buyer, pay a little bit more, 14.8%. So that's on 40 euros is going to be then €5.92. So if it's a €100 bottle, I'd pay €14.80, and so on and so on. And of course, I had to pay for the packaging. So I made a video about this a couple months ago. They take a 3D scan of the bottle. They have foam that they actually cut out, and so that's perfectly fitted in there. It doesn't move even a quarter of an inch. It's fantastically done. Put it in a box, put the box in another box, and send it to you. So I had to pay €9.78 for the packaging and postage. So on top of the 40, it was basically €15.70 to get this. Now I bought 2 bottles this time, so for one, it would have been even higher postage cost, but I did buy 2. I bought a Ben Nevis 16 years, which I'm really looking forward to. Great bottle, I hope. Video sometime in the future. All right, so this is a single cask. What am I going to compare it to? Well, so I'm going to compare it to the organic from Bruichladdich. Why? Well, I kind of thought for a little while. I was like, which whiskeys? I'm not a big fan of the Ben Nevis. Now, you're probably going to say, Jason, then why did you bid? So I go to these whiskey auction sites, and I just look at the prices. I think there was, 140 products. And I'll just go through those, and, that's interesting. I've never had that. I don't think I've had very many Ultimates. I've never had an Ultimate from Ben Nevis. So it's like, okay, the price of the bottle is about 50 euros today, so I'm going to bid 40. If I win, I'm happy. If I don't win, if someone else bids more than I do, that's okay. And I do that with 3 or 4 different auction sites, and I say, okay, this is worth so much for me. And I'm going to say 90 to 95% of the time, I'm overbid. That's fine. That's fine. It's a little bit of waste of my time, but I can see what the market prices are at the moment and see what's going on. There was a whiskey site, I think it was WhiskyAuction.com. I think they had like 28 plus different Weller 12s. And I said, okay, I'm willing to pay 80 euros for those. I bid 80 euros on all 28. And the fascinating thing was, and now I do know that there's some type of bidding bot involved in there, I was outbid on all 28 bottles within a minute of each other. So I don't think a human could bid 28 times and double click and so on for 28 bottles and overbid in that short a time. It's okay. Someone else is going to get them. Now I could go back the day before and go, okay, let's see, maybe I want to add a little bit more. But that's all right. So that was, maybe I would have got lucky. Maybe one of those bidding bots missed one of them. I don't know. Who knows? Not even 100% sure there's a bot. But I don't know. I don't think humanly not possible to bid more so quickly on so many of the same products. All right. So I decided to go for this because I'm also not a great fan. I'm not a great fan of Ben Nevis. I'm not a great fan, I'm sorry, of the Bruichladdich. It was also 2011 until 2022. So this is 11 years of age. This is not. So 50%, 46% non-chilled filtered, natural color. Why not? Why not? Yes, the cask composition is a little bit different, but now the nose, I like the nose. This is going to be a C plus, maybe even a B minus nose. There's a sweetness going on here. There's a barley sweetness. There's a little bit of vanilla. There's a tiny little bit of marzipan. Nice. Someone else wrote here on Whiskybase on the nose. It was here malt, apple, lime juice, vanilla sugar, raspberries, grapes, a little bit of mint, and then a little bit of a sweetness. I thought that was a fairly good description here. I did not get the lime juice. A little bit of apple I can go with. I didn't really get the... Did I say blackberries or did I say raspberries? It should be blackberries. Grapes, maybe. A mint. Maybe. This is a different beast. There's a lot... It's more of a little bit like a white wine influence going on over here. I forgot to look. So I went online. I had forgotten the organic actually was maturation profile. It says on bruichladdich.com, aged in first fill bourbon barrels for 11 years. So first fill bourbon barrel, bourbon barrels. So I'm pretty close. That it does have a different nosing profile. The barley was here organic, mid-cool farms, and the publican variety. I just love the transparency of Bruichladdich. I'm not often in love with the taste, but I am in love with the transparency. All right, 46% non-chilled filtered, an authentic. If I had a signature vintage from their unfiltered collection that used to be 46, that still is 46%, non-chilled filtered, no color added, that would be the same thing. And to get an 8-year-old Ben Nevis for about 50 euros, about right today. All right, so I think it was Roy that said it was in his Amber Rush instead of Gold Rush, Amber Rush. Aquavite, Roy said, single malt scotch for 25 pounds is just too cheap. Anything between 40 and 50 is about right. The distillery get the money, the retailers get their money, the consumer is not ripped off. Anything above that, especially no age statement, especially nothing that's much older, much more exotic, nope. So that's the price. Under 50 pounds is what he's looking at. And to be very honest, sometimes to get those are good whiskeys. To get a very good whiskey, you're going to go up to between 80, about 80 plus minus 10 euros for very good whiskey. And anything over that, the return on investment over 100 euros is almost, my caveat there, almost never worth it. Cheers. There's a tartness, and then what I get is barrel char. No. So it started off nice, and as I said, a little bit of tartness. There's still sweetness there, but that wood It's natural color. There's not much cask influence here. But for some reason, I'm getting barrel char. Not a good aftertaste. C minus. Value for money, C minus. Now, there are other people that would love to probably have this bottle and go, Jason, Ben Nevis is great. I love the flavor profile. Probably, but it's not my flavor profile, just like Bruichladdich is not my flavor profile. Very briefly, I did know two things I'd like to share with you, if I may. Thank you very much for this wonderful, wonderful encyclopedia of knowledge. So, okay, the distillery founded 1825, blah, blah, I knew all that. So, in the 1940s and 50s, when the distillery was owned by the eccentric millionaire Joseph Hobbs, the distillery became a center for experimentation with concrete washbacks and I call them a coffee still. Concrete washbacks. I know stainless steel washbacks. I know Douglas fir and wood washbacks. I know one distillery in Germany that actually uses open washbacks that are tiled, ceramic tiles. Not normal, but they're using it. I don't know anyone that's using concrete. Do you know? Are they still using it? I've never been there. I don't know. All right, and the second thing that I did not know, it was eventually sold to a giant brewing company named Whitbread. When almost all the producers had closed some of their distilleries in the early 80s, Whitbread went against the current and invested more than $2 million in refurbishing the distillery. Now, in spite of this, the distillery was forced to close down and was sold to Nikka in 1990. And most of the distillate goes over to Nikka to Japan, where they use it for Nikka for the barrel and other things. Have used it, maybe still do. I don't know. All right. So C minus for taste, barrel char, and C minus for value for money. Not great. Now, I did do a right in the middle, in the heart of the COVID restrictions. Must have been 2021. We did a ultimate 6-bottle blind challenge. Not a single one of them actually, for us, 23 people did it with me, had any type of reaction. Oh, I need to go buy another one. I'm sure many of these from the ultimate are great, but a lot of them are so young, or have been the last couple of years, so young, 8, 7, 9, 10, and so on, 6 maybe, that they're really, unfortunately, not worth my money and they're not hitting my flavor profile. Older bottlings, excellent, but young, not really, really nice. All right, just as a comparison real quick here, this one. That organic barley, the different processing methods used at Bruichladdich in comparison to Ben Nevis. The first fill bourbon casks is a much more wood, no barrel char whatsoever. If I had to pick between the two of these, I would go here. I don't like this, I don't love this, but this tastes better than this, in my opinion. So, my first question, have you had any ultimate bottlings? What can you recommend? Second question, what Ben Nevis expression can you recommend? We don't see much Ben Nevis, do we? It's few and far between. And the last thing is, if you can't answer any of those two questions, what is your favorite Bruichladdich? Now, we've all hopefully had the classic Laddie. Some of us have had the Laddie 8 or even the 22 or other magnificent things from Bruichladdich. What is your favorite Bruichladdich? All right, thank you very much for watching, liking, subscribing, and please tell others about this crazy guy over here in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Things you'll probably never ever see. Bye-bye.